Welcome to the Empowering Perspective podcast. I'm your host Dwayne Dwyer, and tonight I have a very special guest, a very near and dear person I've been checking out for quite some time, and he's full of positivity, full of great information, and I'm just excited of the information that he is going to bring on this evening show. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Keith Tucker. Keith, welcome to today's show.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be here and I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to speak to your audience.
Well, man, I tell you, it is just an honor to have you on the show. You came, with some serious accolades, man. And I'm telling you, since then, I've been checking you out, man. And I would tell you, if I just go based upon that information alone, you do not disappoint. So I'm just excited about what we're going to talk about this evening. And I know for a fact that you're going to deliver a show that is full of power packed information. So, with that being said, man, just kind of tell us who Keith Tucker is.
Yes, so as you stated, my name is Keith Tucker, and I literally teach people financial literacy and teach them the rules of the wealthy that are not being taught in schools. I'm part of a dynamic company that's 17 years old, a debt-free company, and we literally teach people how to minimize their taxes, eliminate debt, increase their credit score, as well as earn another stream of income without stopping what they're currently doing.
All right, so based upon this information that you just gave, sounds like we're talking about credit. Sounds like we're talking about financial literacy from the standpoint of just having a better understanding of what money is all about, not being intimidated about it, right?
Yes.
Because that, I'm telling you, that's some of the things that I know that people suffer from. Um, so yeah, let's kind of dive into it. You can't when we talked the other day, you mentioned a very interesting concept. And the concept was 243. Man, tell me what this is all about. I like it so far, but from what I heard, I like it. But just tell everybody else what it's all about.
Basically, we came up with a concept called 243, and the two stands for there's two objectives that we believe that everyone's trying to accomplish every day to attain financial freedom. There are four challenges that are stopping them from building wealth, and there's also three solutions that we provide to help people attain financial freedom.
Man, this is good. I like this already. And here's the funny part about it. I haven't even heard the information. I like it. So how did you come up with this concept? Like, I'm just curious. Like, where did it come from?
Yes, so my econ wanted to figure out a way to make it more simplistic to the average person, because sometimes, as you stated, money can be intimidating. So we wanted to make sure that we figured out a way that we can make it simplistic so that even a child can understand the concepts that we teach when it comes to wealth creation.
Yeah, this is good. So, I mean, just out of curiosity, and it sounds like my econ is a phenomenal company, and I have a little background information about my econ. Did you become aware of this stuff before my econ, or did you just become aware of it with my econ? Like, just kind of share that with us.
Yes, so I actually came aware of it when I got part of my econ, because before my econ, I was struggling financially. I was borrowing from Paul to pay Peter, and I was struggling to make ends meet. And lo and behold, I met a gentleman that was on the football field with my son. Both of our sons played football together, and I just happened to overhear him talking to two other dads about financial literacy and financial freedom. So I kind of eavesdropped on their conversation, and I literally chased him down and
Yeah.
said, "Look, you got to teach me what you was teaching those guys." And from there, the rest is history.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I want to bring something up if you don't mind, and I'm not going to show it
Come
on the
on.
screen, but I was looking at it today because I told you I check out your information,
Yes.
and so I'm checking you out, right? And you have this post that says, "Living paycheck to paycheck is a thing of the past. Living big check to big check is the new norm." Man, you know what? I just imagine because I'm 48, right? And I'm just if I had got this information when I was right around 28, man, I think life today would be totally different. And so the reason why I love what you're bringing to the table is because people who are 20 years younger than us, maybe even more, can grasp what you were talking about and literally plot the course to, I mean, like they can create a life that they can dream of, that they can only dream of, not just for themselves, but for their children. And let's be honest, at the age of 28, some of them don't even have children yet. And
Yes, that's
so,
true. That's true.
right, and for their children's children as well. So man, this is amazing. So let's kind of like, if you don't mind, let's kind of like dive into it. So the two things that people are trying to accomplish, you mentioned that previously. So kind of like paint that picture and help us to understand what that looks like.
Sure. So we believe that there's two basic objectives that everyone's trying to accomplish every single day on a day-to-day basis. The first objective is people are trying to go to a job or a business to earn enough income to provide for their current lifestyle. So think about it, the food that we eat, clothes that we wear, the house that we live in, all that has to be paid for somehow. And most people do that with a job or some sort of business. Now, the second objective that people are trying to accomplish is while they're working that job or business, they're trying to simultaneously put enough money in some type of asset or investment so that when they retire, their money works for them instead of them working for the money. Most people work what we call a 40-40-40 lifestyle. They work
Hmm.
40 hours a week for 40 years, that's age 25 to 65, just to end up with 40% of their income in retirement. Now think
Hmm.
about it. If a person is struggling right now off 100% of their income, how in the world are they going to make it off of 40% at retirement? And as you can see, many people don't, because you see so many people work a job, retire, and then unfortunately have to go back and get another job because 40% just won't cut it.
See, this is good already. I mean, like just listening to this piece right here, man. Like just listening to that alone was just golden because I think, I mean, I know you were talking about me. I'm just going to be, I was in the army for 24 years. And just going to be honest, the army wasn't handing out $1 million checks. Let's just be honest with you. Right. But for me, it was all about the benefit package. It wasn't about the paycheck. It was the benefits that came along with it. So that's what made me pursue the career. And along the way, I met some amazing people. Um, but you touched on some things that I think is very important. 40 so 40 hours a week for 40 years to receive
Yes.
40% of a pension. And if we struggle to live off 100% of our total check, then in essence, when we get to the pension side of the house, we're going to struggle even more simply because we're not receiving
Even more.
100% of our check. But then on top of that, what ends up happening is that we're
Yes.
looking to offset that with Social Security and disability and whatever
Yes.
else assistance that we can get. Does this kind of like fit the norm of some of the things that you've encountered in your, doing this for however many
Yes.
years you've been doing it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I see just about 80% of the people are living that type of lifestyle, and I tell them we gotta break the chains of debt and financial curses off our life.
Yeah, absolutely. Now pay attention, everybody, because one of the things I've been talking about for quite some time, if COVID-19 haven't taught anybody anything else, it taught you that you cannot depend on a job. And this young man is
Yes.
talking about something right now that has the potential to move you from dependency to independency. And I love it already. So, what do you think, and just based upon your opinion, what do you think has what do you think have us fixed to that 40 hour, 40 year, 40% mentality?
I think it's a lack of financial education in the
Mm,
school system.
yeah.
They're teaching us everything but that. We don't. Most people don't know how to balance a checkbook. Most people don't know about making sure that you don't overspend on your credit cards. So I think it starts with the lack of education, not only from school but sometimes from the home as well. Because
Mm.
our moms, our dads were taught something different, and they bring that same mentality to us. And the world evolves, and if you don't evolve with it, you can get left behind. So I think it's more so the school system, and sometimes it's what we're being taught at home as well.
You know what? I agree with you 100%. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that most school systems tend to focus on standardized testing. So if they focus on the standardized testing, they're not necessarily giving you the necessary life skills that you need to be successful based upon your definition of success. Like if you're my teacher, and I'm just going to hypothetically use you since we're talking. If
Yes.
you're my teacher, you don't get to depict what success looks like for me. And I think that's
Yes.
the big issue within our school systems. And so I love where you're going
Yes.
with this because I think you're 100% correct. And let's just be honest. 2022 looks a whole lot different than 1982. You
Yes,
know you know
yes,
what I'm saying?
yes.
And no disrespect to anybody, and I want everybody to understand that he's not disrespecting anyone. 1982 was a different time frame. There was some
That's true.
different concerns, different worries, different outlooks at that particular point in time. 2022, we're in the information age. Information is coming rapid and fast, and
Yes.
our children are accessing Google and just picking up stuff, and then they're coming in and say, hey, Dad, what is a self-directed 401k? I'm like, boy, I don't know. So this is good, man. I love where you're going with this, because I think
Thank you.
this is
Thank you.
information that everybody needs to tap into. So thank you for sharing that, man. And